Hello everyone and welcome to Rob's Rogues, and today we're taking a look at Ra's al Ghul from Batman Arkham City Wave 3 from DC Collectibles. And this is the fourth figure, depending on how you want to count it, but this is the fourth original figure from the line. We've had Batman, Penguin, Azrael, and now Ra's here. And the last two figures, there's 6 in the wave, but the last two are Clown Thug number 1 and Clown Thug number 2, and I'll talk about that when I do the Clown Thug reviews, and I'm going to do both of those figures at the same time, and you'll kind of see why. But up to this point, all 4 of these figures, Batman, Penguin, and Azrael, and Ra's here, have all been excellent figures. As always, I've got my trusty Batman Arkham City strategy guide from Brady Games here that has a bio for Ra's al Ghul. Some people say Raish, some people say Ra's. I think they say Raish in the video game. Any of you English scholars out there can figure out the accent, where I think it's actually supposed to be pronounced Ra's, but I guess it depends with who says it and however. But you can see there he is depicted here. A very good likeness. Ra's al Ghul, real name unknown. It has. I didn't do this for the last couple figures, but it does list his eye color is green, and his height is 8 feet 0 inches, and he weighs 210 pounds. I don't know why I didn't read it for everybody else. The read-up, I'll try and read it here while I've got it in frame. I'll probably be in and out of frame here with this. But it says, occupation international terrorist, based in, and it says mobile. That's not Mobile, Alabama. That means he's mobile. He's all over the world. So there's my funny little voice for you. It says, little is known about the early days of the nearly immortal Ra's al Ghul, leader of the League of Assassins, whose name means the demon's head. He has lived for many centuries due to the Lazarus Pit, the Lazarus Pits, mystical and alchemical brews that restore his youth. A brilliant master of strategy and organization, Raz's goal to save the Earth from eventual ecological devastation by destroying most of its population. He recognizes Batman as both worthy foe and possible ally, except that Batman cannot accept Raz's diplomacy worldviews. To bring Batman to his side, Raz has even orchestrated a relationship between Batman and his beautiful daughter, Talia al Ghul. Ra's al Ghul won't appear in the open. That's not the way of an assassin. If Batman is to find him, he must look somewhere in the shadows. So there's the bio as depicted from Batman Arkham City Strategy Guide, and the bio for Ra's is also in the video game as you unlock different character trophies. This is again, I use the word beautiful, fantastic, outrageous, Batman Brave and the Bold, to describe the figures. This is another one. This is a solid wave up to this point. I think if they've only would have released these 4 figures, you could have said this is a perfect wave. Yes, we did get 2 more figures in this wave, but essentially we got 1 more figure. You did see me pull out the sword. There's a lot of really good detail in the sword here. You can see some etching in there that is depicted out through the game. You can actually see the demon head on the blade. If it zooms in, really nice, sculpted very well, like Azrael's sword, as we don't have anything on camera. There is no sheath, or in the video game I think he had it back here behind his back, so it would have been cool to give a little something back here, but all the things that they did with this figure are just great. They even have some dirt and grime painted in on the figure. The tattoos are really good. The tattoos in the video game glow. I'm going to have to turn the light off here because the light's a little bit bright. You guys see the dragon. So the little shield or part of the armor can flip up, which is a nice little touch. So it really doesn't get in the way. If you want to move the arm all the way around, you can. It's not going to hurt anything at all. So that's a nice little feature that they decided to put on. The face sculpt is also very, very good. I've seen some people online have said that some of the painting of the goatee and the facial hair is not complete on their figure. It is completed on mine. I think some of these hair pieces right here were not painted on somebody's figures, and this little soul patch right there. But the armor looks very good. I mean, it looks like he stepped right out of the video game and right onto our shelves for us to display. And like I said, the tattoo is on both arms. He does turn the glove all the way around. There, make sure I don't break it. There is no hand rotation in either hand, I believe. Leg does go forward. It's a little hindered by this part of his belt here. Does bend at the knee. But the joints are really well hidden on the figure, and I think that's what I really like about the DC Collectibles figures. He does turn at the waist all the way around, and does have a 360 ball jointed head, so you can get a good range of motion out of him. And that's one thing I've been saying about the DC Direct or DC Collectibles now and Mattel figures. I guess it's depending on what you want. If you want a lot of posability and put figures in dynamic poses, then Mattel's the way to go. Or like some of us, we kind of get a little bit of both. I think most of us on our figures will get them posed the way we want them, and we'll leave them as that. Of course, the DC Direct version, I keep saying this over and over again, these are a collectible thing. If I had two of the exact same figures, one of DC Direct and one of Mattel, and I have one of my nephews come over and want to play with an action figure, which one am I going to let him play with? Probably neither. But if I'm going to let him play with one, I'm going to let him play with the Mattel version as opposed to the DC Collectibles, as these cost a little bit more, the painting's a lot better, and that's not knocking the Mattel figures at all, because I really like those figures quite a bit, as you can tell from this channel. So I guess it's just depending on what type of things you're collecting and what you kind of think about DC Collectibles. Like I said, these are more my statue-esque figures. I have them on my shelf, and they're just kind of standing pretty much how they're posed. You can get some posability out of them, but generally they're in one pose. And then all my Mattel figures, I've got them kicking and looks like they're flying and all that fun type of stuff that we like out of the Mattel figures. Something I thought it might be kind of fun to do is bring up Damien from Batman and Son here. Have grandpa and grandson here. Or you could take it a step further and bring in Robin Damien, grandpa and grandson. Aw, we're both killers and we're going to do whatever it takes. So this has just been a really good wave of figures. Each and every figure of the main four, Batman, Penguin, Azrael, and now Ra's al Ghul, have been ones I was like, yes, I definitely want those. The two clowns, I'll get into that once we get to the clown video. Excuse me, that'll be next. I'm going to do both clown thugs at the same time. No sense giving them each their own video when it's essentially the same figure. So, hopefully you have bought this. I was going to say this basically completes Wave 3, but I can't say that until I review the last two figures. But so far, 4 for 4. Is this a must-have figure? I think so. The last Ra's al Ghul figure, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was in the Hush line of figures from DC Direct, 2004, 2003, right around there. And it was a shirtless Ra's al Ghul, so kind of like it that he has, his armor on and he's got his sword. Not that Ra's can't be a bare-chested or Ra's al Ghul, but I think this looks a lot better. So, yes, I do think it's a must-have figure. At least out of this wave, I think it's really cool. So, we'll stop the rambling there, Rob. As always, this is Rob for Rob's Rogue signing off and saying we will see you guys next time.